All right, folks, welcome back into the lounge. I am Jake Ellenbogen, and joining me is Rams starting safety and an absolute blast to be around. From what I've heard, I'm going to get to know him a little bit. Kam Curl, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. Ben, I was telling you off air, I was actually a fan of yours from afar. Love watching your film, at Washington. Just love the way, some DBs, they sidestep some tackles. You're the opposite. There's
Nah,
no business
yeah.
decisions made on your part.
Nah, it's football, man. It's supposed to be violent.
Absolutely. So people are probably wondering what is with the hoodie. Honestly, it was a decision of mine. I saw Kam come in with the hoodie, just like JB Long did on an interview I watched with you guys, and
Yeah,
we're following suit. So
yeah. Looks good.
welcome in. I gotta ask you, how are things? I mean, I know this past season, obviously, you would have loved for it to end in a Super Bowl, but it was a really fun season to follow, just in general.
Mhm.
I was really impressed just with what you guys were able to do on that defense, and just in general. I mean, it was a really fun season. But how are things in the off season? And I bet it feels a little bit better to just be on a team, not have to worry about where you're going to go and all that. But take me through it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good. It's starting to get boring, so it's a good thing OTA is coming up in about a month. But I mean, I just been chilling, man. Just getting my body back right. Started back working out and just getting ready for the next season.
I love that, man. Well, we're going to start from the beginning here. What was your childhood like, and when did you know you wanted to play football in the NFL?
Um, I actually grew up in San Diego, California. I was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma, but when I was one, we moved to San Diego because that's where my mom's from, and that's like where my mom and dad met. So we staying out there. That's where I started playing football, and I started loving football at like real young, like 4 or 5. Like my dad would tell me like it was a game on the TV, and like I was watching the TV when I was young, and I was like, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I had to wait a little bit till I was 6 because I didn't want to play flag football. Like they were trying to give me a flag football at like 5, and I'm like, no, like I want to play tackle. So I had to wait till I was 6. First position was running back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like I feel like my first year, like I was the best dude on the team. So it was like I feel like it's natural, you know what I'm saying? And like football is
Prodigy.
so fun. Yeah. It's just so fun to me, everything about it. And that's why I fell in love real early.
No, I love that. I always wanted to play football, and my mom was like, no. It's like, I am not losing you. Because, I mean, I
Yeah.
was not built for it.
Nah, it's a dangerous game for sure.
But I mean, I talk about it for a living. So I
Mhm.
guess it worked out in the end. But you chose to go to Arkansas out of high school to be a Razorback. And I want to know what led to you making that decision, because I'm sure there were a lot of schools after you. What was the thing that set Arkansas apart for you to go there?
First of all, it was in the SEC. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play in the best conference in the nation. That's the SEC. And it was close to home because we had moved back to Oklahoma when I was about 10. So I went to high school and everything in Oklahoma. So the Fayetteville, the campus is like an hour and 45 away from home. So it was close to home. Like my people came to every home game. So that was a good thing about it. And I just actually I wanted to play corner too. And the recruiting coach told me I could play corner. So I played corner my freshman year. It ain't really last that long, but that was a big thing too. Like I always wanted to play corner, and he let me be on the island.
So it's safe to say we won't see you playing corner anytime soon.
Nah. I mean, that corner money is different too. Like I would like that corner money, but it's nah. You didn't see me playing corner.
No, I hear you there. So yeah, I mean, just kind of watching your game from afar, at Arkansas, I definitely grew a liking to how you played. I thought, you saw this, it's like this controlled aggression. I see a lot of defensive backs, linebackers, they hit hard, but like no regard for, what the referees are going to throw, targeting or whatever. I feel like you're aggressive, but you have this controlled aggression, which I like. And how would you say that Arkansas experience was like?
It was a crazy experience. We wasn't good at all. I ain't gonna lie. Like My first year we went 4-8. They fired Coach B. We got Coach Morris came in. We went back to back seasons 2-10, and I ended up leaving after my junior year. But like it wasn't a like on my teammates and stuff, yeah. But just like the outcome of the football games, like it wasn't good at all.
Hey, it sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
I've been talking to draft prospects for years now, and it's funny. I talked to one who's like, "Well, we didn't win a game, so how do you think?" I was like, I was just asking, man. I'm just asking the
No,
question.
it gets real crazy, especially in the SEC West, man. You playing some real teams.
That's true. Speaking of which, playing the SEC, you go up against plenty of competition. I mean, you go up against plenty of competition just playing Power Five football. But like, is there one player that stood out from your college days? Like, oh, damn, he was a problem.
I would say, I would probably say the whole Alabama offense. My year playing there, because when I was there, it was Tua, Najee Harris, Damian Harris, Bo Scarborough, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Judy, Jalen Waddle. Like it was so many guys. Devontae Smith. Like their
Damn.
whole offense was like first rounders. So it was just so crazy.
That's definitely fair. And now, before we get into like kind of your NFL, pre-draft process, you mentioned your family. I feel like I talk to your dad all the time because he's on Twitter, he's active.
Mhm.
How important is family to you? Because I remember hearing, early on when we were talking about going to Arkansas, you said it wasn't that far away. And I know some guys, maybe they don't have that connection to their parents. I have a big connection to my parents. I moved 15 minutes away. But, what say you in regards to that?
I think family is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? And in my house, I had two sisters, and so I'm like the only boy. You know what I'm saying? So I get, so I got to take care of everybody. But like family is really important, man, because we done been through a lot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we done been through a lot together, and now that I've been able to do what I do with my career, like I can help out, and like I make sure I always do that.
No, I love that. And are you the oldest of three?
Now I'm the middle child. I
Okay.
got I got three brothers too. I'm the youngest boy, but I got a
Oh,
younger
damn.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that's like because I was actually the oldest. I have a sister and a brother, but yes, family is everything. Family over everything is what
Yeah.
like I've been saying for a while. But going into the NFL draft, we're witnessing the pre-draft process right now, or pretty much it's over. I mean, there's some pro days going on. But
Mm.
what was that like? Take me through your days, the pro days, the combine, whatever, all star. Well, I don't think because now they let, I think, under like seniors, they actually let you compete at the Senior Bowl and whatnot. I don't know if they did that back
No.
when you were doing it. Yeah. So you probably don't have any all-star games to talk about, but what was that whole process like?
It was a crazy process. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't nobody expecting me to leave my junior year. You know what I'm saying? Like my drag grade came back, told me to go back to school, but like I don't know. I basically just bet on myself. Like I feel like I could have went and made a team. You know what I'm saying? And how things were going to Arkansas, it was crazy. And I just made a decision. Like you know what I'm saying? Put my all in it. I got invited to the combine. I went to the combine. That was crazy. Like combine, going to the doctor. You at the hospital for like 10 hours. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
Like just
God.
getting tests, and then you getting checked by every team. They pulling on your arms and stuff, trying to make sure everything good. Like I got it. I was in the MRI for like 3 hours. Like it's just crazy. We having meetings from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with coaches. Like it's a wild experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I don't got to do it again. But it was cool. Seeing all the top college football players there with you. You know what I'm saying? Guys, you see playing on Saturdays with you there, and came draft day. I had to wait a long time. Day 3 pick, 7th round. But when I got that call, it just felt like a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to get to work.
No, that's awesome. Pick 216, 2020 draft.
Mhm,
Washington football team turns in the draft cards, Cameron Curl. What
mhm.
are you thinking in that moment? Take me through the experience and who was around you at the time when you found out?
Uh, who was around me? I was really honestly, my draft day was like kind of crazy. because I got like an Airbnb with my family, and our TV in the thing was kind of messed up. You couldn't see what round or pick it was.
What?
So like I didn't know. I almost thought the draft was over before they called me because I was getting coaches like text me about free agency and stuff. So like I went outside, like I was sick. Cause I actually had a team text me like, we got a couple more picks. I'm pulling for you. Like the DB coach at the team text me that. So then they pick come in. I see him on the clock. So I'm just waiting on my phone to ring. And then I see pick is in. And I'm like, I'm confused. Like they ain't call my phone. I see they picked a whole nother safety from a different school. So I was hot. I went
My God.
outside, like I'm on the phone with my dog Scooter. He played with me, Arkansas. I'm on the phone with him. We like, man, what's going on? And then like a number popped up. It was a Virginia number. I'm like, who's calling me from Virginia? Like, I don't know anybody in Virginia. And then boom, I picked up and it was like, it's Ron Vera, coach of the Redskins. And I'm like, I just start crying for real. Like it was just a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? After that, I just knew I had to put in the work.
That's crazy. And that's awesome too. So, you go to Washington and, you beat the odds essentially. I mean,
Mm.
seventh round pick to becoming a starter, very soon. I mean, it felt like you were a starter almost instantaneously. That's probably not the case. I'm probably exaggerating, but it felt that way. And you
Yeah.
made an impact like early on, and you've established yourself as one of the better safeties in the league. But what was your experience like in Washington?
Um, it was a pretty cool experience, man. But yeah, coming in, like I had Landon Collins there, DeShazer Everett, Troy Apke, Jeremy Reeves. We had a bunch of safeties in front of me, so I didn't really think. Like I was just thinking about making a team on special teams. Um, and I remember one day we was in training camp practicing, like we was low on corners. So Coach Harris asked me, you know how to play nickel. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just telling him what to do and stuff. Do. And he put me in there, and then I was making a few plays, and then a few days later, next thing you know, like when the install meeting, and they got the Buffalo package up, the big nickel package, and he say like 3-1, you right here, this your package, and I'm like, damn, they made a package for me, like ain't nobody taking this from me, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up starting in the week one. I was just playing, the big nickel and special teams, and then like middle of the season, like week 8 or week 9, my dog Lando, it's when he tore his Achilles.
Mm.
They threw me in there. And then like we had a bye week after that week, and we didn't really know who was gonna start. And then they let me start the next game, and then since then it's been history.
Yeah, you've made, like I said, you made a statement, early on, and that had to have been cool. Like, oh yeah, we have a package just like
Yeah,
for
yeah, that was
you.
like, I'm like nobody taking this from me. Like I'm finna start in this week one.
I love that. So, loved your ability in the run game, as I said. You had a great career in Washington, and then you play the Rams in 2023.
Mhm.
That was a game that I was sweating because you
Yeah,
guys came back in that one, and I was like,
yeah,
oh boy. But you play them in 2023, and you saw. I mean, the Rams' offense was starting to take off, and you guys watched tape, throughout the week, and it was 3-6 to 10-7.
yeah.
You're at SoFi. You're in a contract year. Did you ever find yourself thinking you could ever play for the Rams?
I honestly didn't like you said. It was a surprise. It was a surprise to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think I would be here in LA for real, but it worked out for the better.
Yeah, take me through the free agency experience, because I mean, like, ultimately, why did you choose to sign with the Rams? I mean, I know they're obviously great organization. It's
Mhm.
LA, but I know there's so many different things that go into that process. So what was that whole thing like, and how did you ultimately decide to go to the Rams?
Free agency that was crazy last year. There was some crazy things that happened in free agency last year, but my agent, he was just keeping me updated on stuff. And then he brought up the Rams. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, my agent was at first telling me like, I think this would be the best fit. You know what I'm saying? For you in this defense. And he told me Sean was gonna call me, and Sean McVay called me. He was really like the only head coach to call me, personally. So he called me, and we was chopping it up, and like I've always been a fan, kind of like of Sean McVay, like from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like just the things I see of him, like watching the game or on social media, like on interviews, like how smart he is, how he
Yeah.
can retain like all the knowledge he can retain, and so I've always like liked that about him. So like when I got on the phone with him, you know what I'm saying, it was just like it was meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to play football for this type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the type of guy I want to play for. We had a long conversation. Like I talked to Shula, like, we just had some really good conversations. I'm like, let's do it. Like, I'm ready.
No, I love that. And it's how I felt, back in 2016. The Rams, they had Jeff Fisher at the time, and just really you felt it as a fan. And I mean, that was my first time ever covering a team.
Mm,
And you just felt they were going to make a move for a different coach. I started watching like coaches tape, like how I would watch tape on you. I'm watching
uh,
how these guys are talking, how they're kind of going about. And I come across Sean McVay's interview after the "You Like That" game with Kirk Cousins.
mm,
And I was like, the way he's just talking about these plays, like he knew exactly everything that was going on. He still does.
yeah,
It's
he's
like
a football genius. Like it's crazy.
it's absolutely crazy. He was 30 at the time, and I put my neck out there and I said, "This is the guy I think the Rams should hire." And people were like, "What? He's a frat boy. Like, why would you hire a 30-year-old head coach?" And I was like, "Well, let's put it this way: they just hired a guy who has gone to the Super Bowl, and Jeff Fisher, who has
Mm,
been through a move going from the Houston Oilers to the Tennessee Titans, and
mm,
it didn't work out. I want something new. I'm ready for it, man. I
yeah,
was." It wasn't that well, it was a while ago. The greatest show on turf came and went. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I'm like, I want winning football, man.
yeah, yeah, facts.
Come across Sean McVay's, interviews, and you're like, yeah, that's the guy I want. They
Facts.
hire him, and man, I don't even know if you know that whole story, but the owner, Stan Kroenke, actually asked Marshall Faulk what he
Uh,
thought about him. So they went to dinner and everything, and he's like, well, he's not ready yet, but
uh,
by the time he is ready, he's not going to be there. So they were
um,
just like, all
yeah.
right.
Glad we
So
got him though, for sure.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy, but you play this past season with the Rams, and you were consistent, productive, always on the field. I mean, the best ability is availability. How would you describe your first season as a Ram?
I feel like we had a pretty good season. It was a crazy season, you know what I'm saying? We started off real slow at first and we picked it up. We stayed resilient, picked it up. And that's the farthest I've gotten to playoffs in my career. You know what I'm saying? I'm my first time making it to the divisional round. So it was an exciting season, you know what I'm saying? A season like that, it got me real excited for this upcoming season. You know what I'm saying? Just off the guys that we got on the team and how we play, and like the culture that the Rams have. Like the Rams have a real good culture, like a winning culture. You know what I'm saying? Literally, they just won a Super Bowl, so they really have a winning culture. And Sean McVay and everybody in the building, like they know what they're doing for sure.
No, I love to hear that. And, I feel like what you guys went through was kind of unprecedented in a lot of ways. I mean, I know, with everything going on, New Orleans, the year they won the Super Bowl, they went with Hurricane Katrina, but you guys had crazy wildfires. Had to relocate your playoff game that you earned the right to host.
Yeah,
You had to host it in a rivals,
yeah,
stadium in Arizona, although they seem to have, laid out the red carpet, looked really
yeah. They
nice.
did. They did. It was cool what they did for us for sure.
Yeah. So, playing in those circumstances, not knowing if like your homes are going to be okay and everything, and then
Mhm.
having to go and play football. And at that point, you're actually playing for the city. Like when
Mhm.
everybody says like, oh yeah, we represent the city, like that's all fine and dandy. But it really feels that way once you face adversity, like what California was going through and LA specifically was going through. So, what was the feeling like in the postseason going through all that, and then eventually having to play in a blizzard in
Yeah,
Philly against the eventual Super Bowl champions?
yeah. I mean, that was crazy. The wildfires. Like I'm from Oklahoma, so like we deal with like tornadoes and stuff, but fires, like I never had that problem for real. And like all the fires that were going on at the same time, like before we left for Arizona, we was at practice and like we seen one start Like we seen the fire start. Like
Jeez.
one of the big ones. Like so that was a wild time. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, like it really did feel like we was playing for the city. You know what I'm saying? We got a prime time game. You know what I'm saying? Monday night, everybody watching, and like we're just trying to give the city, what I'm saying, a little stress relief. After all that we was going through, just something to smile about. You know what I'm saying? So that whole week leading up to it, like we had it on our mind that we was really playing for the city. Um, and going to playing in that blizzard, like you said, like that was my first snow game. So that was
Really?
yeah. So it was honestly pretty fun, playing in the snow. Like it was crazy. Like that was my first time. But I just wish that the outcome was different. You know what I'm saying? We was right there. We was close. But you know what I'm saying, they went on and did their thing. But like I honestly feel like if we beat them, we'd been in the Super Bowl for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I have nothing against your former team in Washington. I
I
think
was
what they
ready to play
did.
him too. We was so ready to
Oh,
play. So ready
it's
to
just
play.
such a tease for you, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but yeah, I truly believed like before that third down, of course, happened. I was like, it's going to be 29-28.
yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest, as good as Philly was, they had no chance of scoring on you guys in that game.
We had him right where we wanted him, man. It was just a couple explosive plays, but we had him where we wanted him.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I want to go back to the Cardinals game because that was still a really important game. Stafford was not 100%. We all knew it. Needed that week off against Seattle. Other guys needed time off. Coop, all those guys. Kyron. So you guys coming up with that big play, and it's funny. I had Akello on, and he was talking about that play, the end where he gets the interception. It has the you get. So here's the thing. I want to give you credit for because I don't think you weren't getting credit for it on TV. It's like, oh, Akello comes up with the interception. The ball
Uh,
goes off his helmet. Goes off his helmet because you jammed him. You
uh,
totally threw off his process, and that was evident.
mm,
So, props to you on that.
appreciate that.
Of course. That's one of those things. You go back, you watch the tape, ball knowers know what you did there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's funny because he was talking about this play and how you guys are communicating, and you're talking about your own thing, and then Quentin Lake comes over and he
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
Venom 0, and you're like,
yeah.
oh crap, we're on
Yeah,
our own.
yeah, because we was thinking we are gonna get another call. So we
Yeah,
talking about that call, like, what we gonna do, how you gonna play this. He come in and talking about 0. So like, all right, forget everything we just said. Like, we gotta lock in. Like, we in 0 right now. But yeah, that was funny. Like, Kello, that's a dog, bro. We had some funny moments on the field, me and him for sure.
man, I love it. It was great having him on. Obviously, big fan of his game as well. Hopefully, you guys get to play again together. We'll see how the off season goes. But I gotta ask you now. You play against a lot of teams, a lot of talent. Who's the toughest receiver you've gone up against?
The toughest receiver. I really like off the top of my head, it will honestly be like a couple guys from teams I've played on. Just like facing them in practice. Like in Washington, Terry, like Terry, he's crazy. Like Terry gonna catch everything. His routes is crisp, like everything. He like one of the guys like that's a real football player. And then like Coop and Puka, just going against those guys every day in practice, like it make me so much better. You know what I'm saying? Like Coop, the way he runs routes, Puka gonna catch everything. You know what I'm saying? He real physical. Like just going against them guys in practice, like it makes me a lot better for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, those are obviously some great names. And you think about it, yeah, you've been around a lot of really talented receivers.
Yeah,
You're going to be around another one, Devontae
yeah,
Adams.
yeah, for
What are
sure.
your thoughts on that?
That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. I'm excited to play with him. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy I've been playing. I played against him a few times. When he was with the Packers, and this past season. But that's a guy who, you know what I'm saying. Everybody knows about Devontae Adams. They know what he's gonna bring to the game. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to see how McVay use him in the offense.
No, I'm with you on that. And you did mention you played against him this year, and it was funny because I was actually at that Jets game, and I remember that play specifically. And it's like you and Kello really played off each other a lot. I think like you really complemented each other, and there was that play in general where I don't know why Rodgers normally doesn't just stare down the barrel, but he was like dead set on throwing Devontae Adams, and Kello had him blanketed, and then you came over and ripped the ball out, and
Nah,
he just didn't even see you coming.
yeah.
So yeah, you could see those different plays on tape for sure. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, who's the toughest quarterback you've gone up against?
Toughest quarterback? Uh, I'll say Brady. I played against Brady my rookie year and my second year. We played him in the playoffs in 2020.
That's right.
Yeah, we
That was
played.
the Heineke game.
My dog Heineke. But yeah, Brady, like just being able to play against a guy like him, you know what I'm saying, and get that experience against that type of player. But like I remember playing him in the playoffs, and he just knew everything we was doing as a defense. Like he calling stuff out, and that was my first time experiencing that. Like this is crazy. Like how is he calling our plays and stuff out? Like this is wild. Like but you know what I'm saying, that next season we played him again. We ended up beating him, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little starstruck because after the game, he came up, we dapping up everybody after the game. He came up like, "Oh, good game, Cam." And I'm like, "Dang, Tom Brady know my name and stuff." Like it's kind of crazy. But yeah, him. I played against Stafford my rookie year too. When he was with the Lions. That's a guy. That Stafford, he's just a dog, man. Like coming over here and like seeing him throw the ball every day in practice. Like it's amazing. Like I would be like, these guys here spoiled because they think this normal. Like this stuff not normal. And everybody not throwing the ball like him. Like he no looking at practice and stuff. Like it's
In practice?
crazy, bro.
Oh
Crazy.
man, he's just toying with you guys, but he's
Yeah,
getting you
bro.
ready. He's getting
Yeah,
you ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like going against, like I said, going against him and Coop and all them guys. Like this, it's a great opportunity.
No, that's awesome. All right. So about Stafford, that was for me, and I'm sure for you guys. I mean, that was wild. What
Yeah.
were your thoughts? Watching this thing all unfold. I mean, whether it was on TV or social media, it
Mhm.
was wild.
Yeah. At first, I was a little nervous, but then I'm like, bro, we not finna let Stafford go nowhere. Like we can't. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I'm like, I'm not even really worried. Like we not finna let him go nowhere.
Nah, he's awesome. You
Yeah.
think he goes to the Hall of Fame?
I feel like he should. I feel like he should. I just seen something on social media like a week or two ago about like all his stats and stuff. But I feel like he should, bro. He a dog, man. Like I was a fan of Stafford when he was in Detroit, like just watching him, like when I wasn't even in the league yet, like just watching him and stuff, and like I never thought I'd be on the same team as him for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is a great opportunity, but he a dog, man. I feel like he should.
Yeah, it's funny with Stafford because you have said it now, and I've said it now. The fan from afar thing, but it's real. I mean,
Yeah,
just
right.
because you're not on my team doesn't mean I can't be a fan of what you're doing.
Yeah, like
And
you gonna recognize who the real dogs are and who really got it for real.
absolutely. And, watching Stafford, I remember I put out a tweet in like 2015. I was like, I just want Stafford. Just
Uh,
get me Stafford. It took a while, man, but
yeah.
we finally grabbed him. But um, let's go back to you mentioned, when you were doing the package for you, you mentioned that you were 31.
Mhm.
With the Commanders. You switched to 3 on the Rams. What made you decide to switch numbers, and what made you choose, 31 and 3?
Well, they gave me 31.
Oh,
Why
so you didn't
I
have a
didn't really get the chance to pick. I'm 7 rounds. They just really give you a number. But
damn.
three, I mean, I seen 31 was taken, and I wanted to go single digit. My number in high school and college was 2, and like my dog Russ had 2, so I just wanted to get as close to 2 as I could, and 3 was available. I just wanted to get back to single digit. That's really it.
No, I like that. And it's funny because, Kello had mentioned, 2 and wanting to let it breathe because, like, when Russ was gone, he's like,
Yeah,
no,
you don't ever want to do it like that. Like somebody leave,
no.
I'm right. I don't want to do that.
No, it is weird. It happens, but it
Yeah,
is
see, like
weird because,
four was available.
yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I like his game, so I ain't really want to just come in and hop in 4, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't really want to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's cool of you because I mean you guys weren't even teammates the
Right.
previous year. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's definitely cool. Now, kind of scratching the itch because I'm sure you get this. Rams fans, in case you didn't know, are obsessed with uniforms and helmets. Obsessed. So if you could have any alternate uniform to add to the Rams this season and beyond, what would it be?
I want to bring back that yellow.
Okay, I like it.
Like I be in the equipment room telling them like, bro, we gotta bring back that yellow because I remember it was that Chiefs Rams game. When it was
Oh
like
yeah,
yellow and red. That was crazy, bro. Like that all yellow. I feel like that's my favorite.
I still can't believe that game happened.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, bro. That was a crazy game.
That game, I forget exactly how it went down. There were also wildfires during that. So they were also playing for the city in that one as well. But that game at the Coliseum was supposed to actually be at Azteca Stadium in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they was telling me that. Yeah.
So, yeah, it got moved, and that game was wild.
Yeah,
you just had Goff and Mahomes slinging it all over the field, and you're like, what is this? You got Aaron Donald and Chris Jones, and I mean, it's like, it's funny because as good as all the offenses were, just because it's 54-51, everyone assumes there was no defense. There's a lot of defense in that game.
Touchdowns and stuff. So
like it was a wild game, but yeah, hopefully. Well, I mean, you guys kind of had that too. That Bills Rams game was insane.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
I thought you two were the Super Bowl teams this year after seeing that. I was like, because I gave you guys no chance in hell of winning against the Bills. I was at the Eagles game. Yeah. I flew 3,000 miles to see that game, and I was so depressed. But I was like, the Bills are just going to be so tough. Josh Allen, everything. And then you guys came out with like reckless abandon, and they just weren't ready.
Josh Allen started showing off why he won MVP.
Yeah.
That's another great quarterback, though. The way he throw the ball, like, it's crazy.
What's funny to me about that game specifically is that there were a lot of Rams fans that, yeah, they were like stunned that they won. But then, of course, and I'm sure you've dealt with this before, people start, even after the game, despite the win, they're like, well, the defense gave up 42. And then you guys, the rest of the year, just, I mean, you turned it into what I would say, if not the best defense, it was the hottest defense in football. You guys almost broke the sack record.
Yeah. I mean, we ain't like that they scored 42 either. Like after the game, like some of the DBs we looking at each other like, I'm glad we won, but that didn't feel good. Like letting somebody put up 42 on you, that don't feel good at all. So that's why we came out. You know, what was that? The next week we played the 49ers.
On a short week in the rain.
We just kept holding people under like 10 points and stuff.
It was crazy. And then the Eagles game, I thought you guys were great too. I mean, again, it's Saquon Barkley. And he had those explosive runs, but it's also hard to stop a guy who can run that explosively in a blizzard.
It's crazy.
I don't know what you do there.
That's another dog, man. I've been playing against Saquon too my whole career, and then him on the Eagles. It's crazy.
He just won't go away, man. He's it's wild. What was your favorite thing about this past season, and your least favorite thing about this past season?
I'd probably say getting as far as we did. Like I said, that was the furthest I've been, and I scored a touchdown. That was my second touchdown.
That was awesome. The high step and everything.
That was a pretty good moment. And I said least favorite is just losing that last game. I was just knowing it's like, damn, like the season over. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, because I had no doubt we was going to the Super Bowl. Like the team like we had and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is the best team I done played on. Like ain't no way. Like we going to the Super Bowl for sure.
I was in shock because I like, it's funny the way Sean was saying like we didn't expect anything other than 29-28 is exactly how I felt.
That's how the whole team felt. Like that's how your brain is wired when you under Sean McVay and like you had like there's no like everybody on the sideline was like this game finna end 29-28. You know it. Like facts. And
you guys outplayed them too. You did. Don't be humble here. You guys outplayed them.
Like I said, we had them right where we wanted them for sure. We had them right where we wanted them. Like they was nervous for sure. But, you know,
when Puka made that crazy catch, you're like, what the hell?
Every day in practice though, like it's crazy.
That is crazy. No, it's. I mean, hey, you know, you guys had a game. This is why, by the way, that I never doubted. in that game. I did doubt. I did just admit I doubted the Bills game, but I never doubted this game because earlier in the year it was like week 3 against the Niners, and I think you guys had a 5% win probability late in the game, and everything had to go the right way, and it did. You guys got stops. Tutu had that crazy catch. I
Mm-hmm.
still think they should have given him the throw, but is what it is. Uh, but no, that was a huge moment, I think, in that season. And even though some of those games didn't go down the way you would have wanted, the Packers game, you guys ran out of receivers. Everybody was banged up in that one. I still think like the Bears game, especially, the defense continued to get stops late in games and give the offense a chance, and that's what we saw. In the last game of the year. And so now, the Rams go out, they add Devontae Adams, they bring back Alaric Jackson, they gave you guys, a guy in the trenches there in Puna Ford. We'll see what else they do. What's the feeling going into 2025?
I mean, just hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? Like start off just like how we left off. We just set the standard. Obviously, we set the standard, and we can't let that fall. And I feel like this team, like I said, like the culture that McVay got here, like we hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what has to be done. To get back there. You know what I'm saying? So that's all we focus on.
And the one thing I really enjoyed about this defense is they never, you're playing in your second playoff game versus playing in his first, and Braden's playing in his first. All these guys are like in these positions, like Omar Spates, who
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't even know who he was, right? Like even the announcers were calling him by a different name. And you guys don't, it's like, I kept hearing this and I disagreed with it, but I understood the premise. It's like they don't realize they're not supposed to be this good. And
Uh,
I disagreed with that, but I understood with what they were trying to say. It wasn't
yeah.
necessarily a backhanded compliment. It's like
Yeah.
you guys shouldn't be almost setting the sack record in the postseason in 2 games.
Right. Exactly.
Like that
That
was,
was crazy. The D line, they was eating, bro. Like just sitting back there and watching that, like it's sack after sack after sack. Like they was eating for sure.
yeah, but a big thing about sacks is that it also is helped by the
Yeah,
secondary.
cover
So you
sacks.
guys have a hand in
Yeah,
that.
a few of them was cover sacks, but they get the stats. So we not hating on them.
No, of course. I mean, it feels like a really put together unit, and you guys, a rookie defensive coordinator in Chris Shula,
True. Yes.
and it had to have felt like, Aaron Donald retires, and I don't know, did you sign before Aaron Donald retired?
I think it was like the same day. I was like, damn, like that shit was crazy. Like I'm like, that's wild. But it was like the same day. I feel like I was like, damn.
Damn. that kind of has to suck a little bit,
Yeah.
but hey, they had a plan. They went out, they got Verse and Fisk in the draft. They got some other guys, and I find it so funny how like the media almost instantaneously was like, "Oh, they're done. Aaron Donald retired. They have no chance."
Yeah.
And like I said, with your defense, like you guys didn't care. Like it's not anything against AD. I mean, he's a legend,
He a legend.
but
Yeah.
you guys, what you were able to do, like, I mean, I just don't think people realize, especially at the end of the season, and you kept getting better. That was the scary thing,
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell? But looking at 2026, right? You're in your contract year. I got to ask you this just because Rams fans want to hear it from you. Do you want to be a Ram? Like, do you want to come back?
Yeah, I would love to come back, man. Like I said, I love McVay, this coaching staff. Like I love everything about it, like everything in the building. But it's it ain't up to me all the way.
Nah, we learned that one.
Yeah,
There's yeah, I mean it was a sad day yesterday watching Cooper leave and wishing him nothing but the best.
yeah,
I guess kind of, in that light, Cooper is a different animal. Like work ethic, leader. You said he helped make you guys better. He
yeah.
obviously helped the wide receiver room. Is there a guy that doesn't get mentioned or get credit, but kind of does something similar that isn't Cooper Kupp, in on the inside? Like somebody that's like really like they're detail oriented, kind of like they take you under their wing. They're,
Uh,
anybody like that?
on the defensive side,
Just in general,
I
like
would
on the
say,
team.
yeah, but I feel like Q Lake. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to get talked about a lot more. But Q Lake, just as like a football player, like he knows, like he's a real deal football player. Like he really locked in all the time. You know what I'm saying? His technique is always sound. You know what I'm saying? He's a real smart player. He had the green dot. I
Yeah,
had the green dot before, and that's not easy at all. Like it get real staticky in there. The pressure moments it gets crazy, but like he handled it real well. You know what I'm saying? I love his game. You know what I'm saying? Just watching him play and his versatility and stuff. But I feel like after this season, he gonna get the recognition he deserves.
I like that. All right, you wore the green dot, so tell me. I mean, how do you even hear that? Like, you got all these screaming
Yeah,
fans,
you
and you
gotta
got
you gotta
the
hit
barking
one of
and the.
these or something. You know what I'm saying? But it can get loud in there. It can just get real staticky too, though. So
Oh
you might
damn!
like, you know what I'm saying? Like what he say, and it cuts off at 15 seconds on the play clock. So if you don't got to play by then, like you got to come up with yourself. You know what I'm saying? But like it's a lot of pressure. But like I said, he handled it right. Like I had it for probably like 2 games, I think, because we had some injuries in Washington. But it's just not easy at all.
That doesn't sound easy at all. It's like, I mean, I'm just thinking from your perspective. You're wearing a helmet,
Mhm.
and you got all these people, screaming, and then you have coaches that are yelling in your ear,
Yeah.
and I'm one of those people. I don't even want to talk on the phone with people near me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to
Yeah,
go. It's like
yeah,
that's one of my pet peeves. Like, especially when somebody tries to meet me at a stadium or whatever. Like, yeah, I want to meet up, and it's like, yeah, I'm here, and I'm like, I hate this. Like, I
yeah,
just hear all these people talking. And I'm like, I
yeah,
can't hear you right now. So
yeah.
yeah, that's. I
You
mean,
really
that's like
gotta
the
lock in.
equivalent, like a concert, like
Mhm.
somebody called you at a concert.
Yeah, for sure. It's the volume is high enough. It's just a static, like I said. Like the signal ain't good or something. I don't know what it is about it. The signal ain't good or something.
Damn. And is it like, is there like a system that cuts it off at 15? Like, do you ever get any
Yeah, that's no,
extra
that's I
wiggle
think
room?
that's like the rule, like the NFL rule. All of them like
Okay.
put off at like 15 seconds on the play clock. So they don't want nobody telling you what to do during the play.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Also, that would be incredibly distracting. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys are
they
making
don't even
split
want
second
that for real.
decisions.
Yeah.
No, that's wild. I want to ask you, before I get into like what the typical day in the life of Camera Curl is, I want to ask you from your perspective. It seems like you guys are under fire a lot as defensive players. There's constantly this, and this being added. Um, I'll say it. You guys stopped it. I still think it's a BS play. I do not like the tush push. I don't at
Yeah.
all. Um, but you got like hip drop, and you got to worry about head and neck area, and a quarterback can slide at the last second, and then you can pull up, but you're still going to get hit with a penalty.
Uh,
Like, what is that whole thing like trying to navigate where this is such a split second position to be in?
mhm.
But now you have to like aim beforehand and make like anticipate. Like,
Yeah.
what is that whole thing like?
I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They just make it a lot harder for us. But
Mm,
it's if you just I don't know, it kind of make you think a little more, but then like you really just can't let it affect you. Like you just got to be like, all right, like if I actually hit him in his head, then it is what it is. Like you know what I'm saying? Because if you out there timid and stuff, like somebody gonna make a play on you. So it is what it is. Honestly, like we can't do nothing about it. We just gotta be better, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like if you can still do all that and be a great player, like that's just showing how good of a player you are.
no, I like that. And as somebody that's a hard hitter, would you rather get that big hard hit? Let's just say set the stage. It's a Super
Uh,
Bowl. You get to
yeah.
choose how you end the Super Bowl and win it. Would you rather have that big hard hit that forces the fumble, or would you rather have that big interception?
You gotta get the interception. That's
Okay.
that's where the money at. The picks. That's where the money at for sure.
I am starting to see that now.
Yeah, that's where the money at. You gotta get the ball. You gotta catch it.
Yeah, I mean, you got guys giving up 75% of their targets, but they got a lot of interceptions, so they're getting paid.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's how it is.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. So, what's the typical day in the life of Kam Curl?
What are we talking about? In season, off season?
I guess right now, and then yeah, like compared to how it is during the season.
I mean, right now I'm still out here in LA, so I went up to the facility. I go up to the facility and work out, do some stuff with the training staff for a few hours. I come home and I just be a dad. Honestly, I got a
Love
little
that.
girl. She 17 months old, and I got another one on the way here in like a couple weeks. So
Oh,
I
that's
just
awesome,
come back
man.
and be dad. I might get on the game a little bit, but it revolve around her. Honestly,
Well, congratulations on that.
thank
That's
you.
fantastic. Um, what are some of the things you do in your free time?
I like to get on the game. Uh, I take my daughter to the park sometimes and go hang out. But I'm really like a homebody. Like I like being in the house for real, on the game with my friends or just chilling.
I know the feeling.
Yeah,
I think the cool thing is like with you, there's definitely a work life balance because you're either playing football or you're not. For
yeah,
me, it's like I can't differentiate,
yeah.
man.
I feel
But
you.
but yeah, I felt that homebody thing. I mean, I'll go out here and there, hit the gym or
Uh,
whatever. But yeah, sometimes it's just like in the safe space feels nice.
yeah.
Um, so how long do you plan on playing in the NFL?
Um, I'd probably say like 10 years.
I like that.
Like
10 more
anything.
years or like
No,
10 years
no, no,
total?
no, no. Nah, just 10 total. I feel like anything over 10. I'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Or just something just drive me to keep going. But I feel like 10 years good. They say the average like 3, so
Yeah.
that's 10 is real good.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've been in since 2020. So this
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
going on my
your
6th year.
fifth, sixth year.
Yeah, I'm going on my 6th year.
You only got 4 years left? BS.
I was
I'm
about to
calling
say, you never
BS.
know. Something might drive me to keep going.
Nah, no, you
Nah,
got to
I'm
play to
young.
the
Like
end of the prime.
I just turned 26, so I'm still young a little bit. Like 10 years, I'll be like 30. So I
Yeah,
might still
you got
be
6 years.
playing.
Oh man, that's funny. Um, so rapid fire here to get to know a little bit about you. Favorite TV show, favorite food, and favorite place in the world.
Favorite TV show right now is Paradise. I watch Paradise on Hulu.
I've heard that. It's
That's a
good.
real good show. I ain't gonna lie, that's a real good show. Favorite food, hot wings. I like hot
Ooh,
wings.
like that.
My favorite. Favorite place in the world. Uh, I just went to Turks. I went to Turks last year, and
Oh, nice.
that's probably like the best place I've been to. Like I've been to Hawaii and stuff, but I feel like Turks takes a cake.
Nice. Yeah, I still haven't left the country, so I would
Oh, for
probably have
real?
to say, yeah, I'd
I
probably
just
have.
got my passport too. Like, so I did it. I was a
Oh,
little fat.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to Japan.
Ooh, that's yeah. I feel like I would too though.
I like recently, like over the course of my life, I've gotten more into like anime, so I feel like
Uh,
Japan, I'd feel at home.
yeah, probably hella anime out there.
Yeah, probably. Um, what's the craziest story you can tell in this show?
The craziest story, like it don't like. What do you mean, like football?
Like just yeah, like in like I guess just that you can tell that you feel comfortable sharing. What's the craziest story?
The craziest story. I mean, I had some funny stories. Uh, like my rookie year. It's like when I was younger, my first position was running back. Uh, and Adrian Peterson, that was my favorite running back. So my
Mm,
rookie year, he owned the Commanders. We had him in training camp my rookie year. So it's just basically just surreal just seeing him around. You know what I'm saying? But that's another dog. Like we doing sprints. Like AP the first in every sprint. Like it don't matter what it is. Like it don't matter how
wow.
old he is. Nothing. He the first. But we was in practice one day. We had the pads on, and we was doing inside drill like 9-on-9, and it's just run plays. So the safeties, you're not supposed to touch nobody. So we just there just to be there. So I'm in. He gets the ball. They like got him wrapped up in the backfield or whatever. Like the play damn near over. So I'm just running up just to show him around the ball or something. I'm not thinking anything about it. But like for some reason, like they let him go, but he's still going, and like he see me and he lower his shoulder, boom, and like
Oh
I
my god.
fall, like I'm like I'm falling back. I don't hit the ground. I'm like damn, my coach he over like you better tighten up, like you know what I'm saying. I'm like man, like I'm not even supposed to be touching nobody. Like I don't know why he did all that. But like later in the practice, he came up to me and was like, "Man, my fault, man. I was just mad. The O-line was making me mad and stuff." So I'm like, yeah, that's whatever, bro. But I was still trying to get my get back. But that was just crazy, just like from him being my favorite running back, to that situation happening. You know what I'm saying? That was a funny story.
Life comes at you fast, Cam.
Yeah, facts. And AP, bro, AP would be at practice with a dip in his mouth, toting the ball. Like
Oh
it's
my god.
he a real dog.
You used to have so you used to rock the dreadlocks. What is that like playing with the dreadlocks as opposed to like now you got the shorter hair?
It's a little more room in the helmet. But yeah, I mean that's really it. It's just a little more. You got a little more. With the dreads, you got a little more cushion, and
Okay.
like people might not think, but that what I'm saying, that matters. Like tackling and stuff. Like I can feel the difference already. Like just
Damn.
cushion going a little bit.
And of course, like you're playing from the defensive side, so you're not getting them tugged normally.
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah. I'm
So
glad.
you probably never would have had them if you're on the offensive side, right? Or would you?
Probably not, because when they started hanging out the back of my helmet, that's when I wanted to cut them off. I just felt
Okay.
like it's getting too long.
Yeah, I mean it's a great look with the helmet, but yeah, I used to watch like Steven Jackson literally get tackled by his hair, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like fun.
It never happened.
Just like, and you just watch like people get their like hair pulled out, and you're like,
Yeah,
man,
that's crazy.
yeah, like that does not sound comfortable at all.
Nah.
You mentioned you're going to be 26 soon at the end of March. Actually, it's the 31st, I believe.
It's actually the third. I just turned 26 the third. They got it
Oh,
wrong on Google.
that's
Yeah.
hilarious. Well, happy birthday.
March 3rd. Yeah, appreciate it.
Of course. So what's the most impressive thing that you would say you've achieved in your first 26 years? And what is the one goal you have for the future?
Most impressive thing. I mean, I say making it to the NFL because that's a dream since a child, and I made it come true. And I just bought a house.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
awesome.
my first time buying a house, so I feel real grown after that. I say that was pretty impressive too. But what was the other one?
Oh, and then one goal you have for the future.
Oh, winning the Super Bowl ring.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. No shade at Cam, but I brought this up to, well, your name is Cam. I'm talking about Cam Newton. No shade to Cam Newton, but I brought this up with Akello, and Cam, I don't know if you saw it, but he was saying he'd rather keep his MVP over winning a Super Bowl. And I asked Kello straight up, I'm like, would you rather have Defensive Player of the Year or Super Bowl? And he's like, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you? I take it.
The Super Bowl, man. Like, there's nothing bigger in football than the Super Bowl at all.
Yeah. And it's like what I noticed, especially like the year when the Rams won and like the Eagles this past year and the Chiefs, it's like when you win the Super Bowl, everyone on that team is a celebrity now.
Yeah.
Like
everybody's a celebrity, everybody get paid. Everything is better.
Yeah, like I saw what was the long snapper for the Chiefs was going on late night television. There you go. Like
it's crazy, like stuff like that be happening.
So yeah, I think it's a big thing for a personal brand, but also for the team and you guys, like the amount of sacrifices you guys make week in and week out, and put your bodies on the line because you play a car crash of a sport.
Yeah, it's 100% injury rate, man.
Yeah,
I ain't have a surgery my whole life until I got to the NFL.
Damn. Yeah, that's tough.
100% injury rate, man.
I've I've been hit by a car before, and I've been hit by our varsity linebacker when I was in high school, and they're about the same force wise.
For real?
Yeah.
I ain't never been hit by no car, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the car probably was more likely to kill me, but
Yeah, facts.
the car didn't knock me out though.
The linebacker
The
did?
varsity linebacker did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was gym class. We were playing softball, and someone just hit it up. I said, "I got it. I'm at short." All of a sudden, I hear the boom, just took me out.
And you
Next
went to
thing I
sleep.
know, I'm in the nurse's office on like this bed.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know.
Softball, that's
So,
not even supposed to be a contact sport, man.
I know. Well, exactly, man. It's gym softball, and it's a pop up, and I'm just sitting there waiting for it to hit
Yeah,
my glove, and they're like, you know,
that's crazy.
yeah, just wild. All right. So last thing here for you as we wrap it up. How do you want to be remembered as a person, Cam? And how do you want to be remembered as a football player when it's all said and done?
As a person, I want to be remembered, as a follower of Christ, a good person who gave back. You know what I'm saying? Who was always there to help people in need. You know what I'm saying? Just like an all around good guy. And as a football player, just a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? Like a real hard nosed football player. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like a dog. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be remembered as a dog for real.
No, I love that. I mean, that's how people are going to remember you. They're also going to remember you as the guy that high steps when he scores a touchdown. Love that, by the way. Hey, man, this has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have you on. Big fan of your game, like I said, from afar. But then you came over to the Rams, my neck of the woods. Now, of course, I don't actually live in LA. I live in upstate New York, but we'll pretend my neck of the woods. But it's been fun to watch you in the first year. It'll be really fun to watch you this year. I think you guys are definitely one of the teams to beat, if not the team to beat. Lot of talent. We'll see, who you're ending up with on defense. We'll see how the draft goes and all of that. But I wish you the best of luck. Stay healthy, and
Sure.
let's keep in touch, man. This is a lot of fun, and you're welcome back anytime.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, guys, that's going to do it for us. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. He is Kam Curl. You can check him out by, just watching some Rams football. How about that? So that's going to do it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.